everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here to do a Trendy Tuesday. I apologize as it's also washing day, so you can hear my washing machine going. I have a lovely stack that is mostly, I thought these were all Christmas, maybe they're not. Let's see here. I know up to there. There we go. I have some Christmas photos from this year that I've taken, and I haven't scrapped Christmas at all yet. And there's a few that I thought would be really fun to kind of, those aren't really Christmas, to tell. I have a really fun one of when Sean and I went on a date night one night, which was really fun. We went to something called Enchant, and it was in downtown Vancouver, and that was really fun to go to. And then I also have some photos from our Snowmageddon that happened. And I have a couple. These are all 4x6s because I couldn't decide which ones I wanted to use. But I have like this photo that I absolutely love of Jackson. He's holding his fox. There's a few really cute ones in here. And so I'm kind of thinking about doing a snow themed or Christmas type layout. I did take a photo of both of our cars that's hiding here. So my car and Sean's truck, and I was thinking about doing a layout with our cars in the mix as well. So I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, is using some more winter themed pictures so that I can, please excuse the noise, I know it's loud, it's annoying, I should have taken these out first. I can use these really awesome ice cream flakes. Oh goodness. These really awesome felties that are snowflakes. So I have the Blustery Day felties. These are white. I have the Perfectly Aqua and the Perfectly Pink. So the pink, obviously, I'd probably only do if I did the layout about with Sean in it, me and Sean. The other ones, I probably wouldn't. So I'm probably going to do more of the snow one, maybe this one. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to pull and do something. I also have this kind of fun photo I took of Jackson and I really love this photo. So I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm thinking my starting off point. I really would like to use, I haven't touched these yet, so I'd really like to take advantage and use some of them. They're absolutely beautiful. They're so intricate. I cannot talk. Pregnancy, I tell you. I only have about a week and a half to go before I'm being induced, so please forgive me as I can't even talk correctly, but they're just so pretty. So get your hands on these if you don't have them yet. Don't forget you can always use my name and get yourself a discount at the shop. So it's Christy15, and it will give you 15% off on the shop to pick these up. And I believe I'm gonna go down fast forward and let's see what I can create, and if I can have a voiceover that is, you know, in English for you here. Okay, so I'm going to apologize as this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I wanted to show you the kind of the way it all turned out. So the first thing I'm starting with is this 4x4 photo. It's an Instagram photo that I took. I purposefully added two photos of the same thing of myself so that I could cover up one of the squares there, either with a title or embellishment or something like that. And I'm thinking using one of these awesome snowflakes would be a really neat way to do that. So I'm going to decorate it and just rotate the lighter blue versus the darker blue of Pandora's Ombre. This is the new sequence pack that was released this month, and it's beautiful, guys. Get your hands on it if you don't have it yet. It's so pretty. And I'm just rotating it because it is very light colored, and it's snow. I do kind of sometimes think of that ice snow, and it matches with the lights that were used for, we had gone to something called Enchant, and it very much matched that. So that was my first idea here. And then I'm going to take this Fancy Pants Christmas collection And I pulled just, I think, 5 different pattern papers from it, kind of randomly, just made sure I had a color from each of the options. I think there was 3 colors and a wood grain that I chose, so, and then white as well. And I'm going to tear it. I really love the tearing effect that it gives. And what I'm doing is tearing it basically 3/4 of a, so 0.75 of an inch. I don't know. I don't know my math skills very well, but I'm just tearing them all the same length. And so now you can see there's all of the strips that I've done. And now I'm going to go in with my scissors and cut that. Now that I have them the right width, now I'm going to cut them to the correct length. And I'm just going to do it even. It's a 6x6 piece of paper, so I'm going to do it by 2. Of course, there is that little bit of a branding strip, so I had to think about it for a minute, and you're just going to see me do a little bit of it, and then magically it'll all get done. I didn't think you'd really want to watch me cut a whole bunch of strips of pattern paper. It could be a little bit boring. But I really love this. So I'm going to have a bunch of different options to pull from. So when I create my snowflake that I'm about to create, I can just pull where I need to go from and everything will work really well. Now, to create this snowflake, I did get the inspiration off of Pinterest, and I will make sure at the very end to leave, I'll show you the photo that I was inspired by, and then I'll show you my finished layout. That's how I normally do things when I do scrap lifts. And I love the way it was done. I believe that it was a design team member who had created something for Elle Studio. So it's beautiful though. And I'm just kind of copying that, creating your own snowflake effect with pattern paper. I kind of looked at it once to see how she did it and then put it away and created my own thing with it. So I'm liking this, but I need to figure out which pattern paper I want to use. And so I kind of grabbed just a few different selections and grabbing my photo to see what works the best. I really love this wood grain type one that I have there. I don't like the way that one works. It's too cream. That one is, the blue doesn't match correctly, so that one's a no-go. This one, it's okay, but the pink doesn't really match, so I didn't want to use that one. I do like this piece of Pink Fresh Studio, but with my photo being so big, I'm not exactly sure how I was going to make that work. So I put it aside as an option, but I'm not going to end up using it. That wood green is too dark in my mind, so I'm not going to use that one. I have a border strip to use if I want to, and then this blue is unfortunately just too dark, so that one's not going to work either. Which is fine because I liked this wood grain. So I'm going to go back to my very first option here and work on building the snowflake. So you're not going to see me do the whole thing. You kind of just get the point. You layer them down and then you put them, to make the snowflake, you just put them on angles. I did do stitching to make sure that it stayed, and bam, there's the end of my layout with the snowflake. So I'm putting my photo down and now I'm realizing that it's getting lost with this snowflake. So I grabbed the other 2 photos that I had and I'm layering them. I'm okay with it, but it's still not really working. So I'm going back to my photos that I have of Jackson because he has a red jacket here. It plays off really well with the red pops that were in the snowflake, and that's what I found distracting, is that my eye was going to the pattern paper versus the photos. And I never want that. I always want my eye to go to the photos. So I kind of just pull a few here, trying to decide what I want to do. I start with these 2. I'm liking it. I'm really thinking about what to do because I have different options. And as you can see, there were a few there where he was holding his fox. And I want to use that on a completely different layout to talk about the fact that he took his fox for a walk. So I didn't want to use any of those. But what I'm going to do is trim down this first photo to an Instagram size because I don't need all the white. There's a lot of white space in the white photo, right? Because it's all snow. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to push that over. Still kind of debating. I'm liking it, but I just need it to kind of go through my head a little bit. So I put the snowflake down, and I do like the idea of the snowflake still. So I'm liking that. But how am I going to make it work and pop out the way I want it to? So I gave it a second, and you can see I came back and I pulled in another photo. Sorry about that. My voiceover just went a little funny. And it's a photo of Sean and Jackson as well. And I like that because now there's photos of them, like Sean kind of bookmarks the one end and Jackson bookmarks the other end. You can see I added 2 more of those awesome white snowflakes. Those are from the Blustery Day Felties collection. And my title. My title is something going to be called Snowmageddon because this is crazy. We do not live where it snows very often whatsoever. And so the fact that we had gotten this much snow was kind of a big deal. It's not something that normally happens. So I really wanted to document this. And you can see that I am using this second one. This Felty, one of the snowflake leaf part things of it broke off. That is one thing about Felties you have to be careful with, especially when they're delicate like these. They're so beautiful, but they are delicate. You have to be a little bit careful. And so what I ended up doing is I wanted to bring in a little bit more of the red tones because of his jacket. So I pulled out the classic cozy sequence pack that I have, and it has the prettiest red, and it worked perfectly. So I'm going to put that up at the corner, and then I'm going to work on my title and call it, like I said, I just called it Snowmageddon. Nothing too exciting, but it definitely says what I want it to say. And I'm just going to add in this last snowflake here. This did happen in February, so I added the Feb there. And then I'm going to rotate the sequence that you'll see in the final photo. And I rotated it with a red and a blue one from each of the sequence packs so that it matched. And there's a little more pop of color there. And I'm also going to just trim my photo down just a little bit. I still don't have a blade, so I do this with my scissors. Not really the easiest way to cut paper, but I make it work for me. I just haven't managed to make it to my goals yet. And it does work. I make it work. It's totally fine. But I am going to trim off just 2 sides here, just enough so that I can make it a 2-sided border. It's not going to border the entire layout, just the 2 sides here. And I'm really liking it. So as you can see, this is kind of a busy layout because of all the pattern paper that I used, but it's very simplistic in my embellishing. So that's how I trade on and off when I do things like this. As you've seen my layouts, I really like to embellish, but sometimes when you're using this much pattern paper, you don't need much. So all I really needed was a few supplies from my Spiegel Mom scrap stuff, and it created my layout. I do a hidden tag for my journaling because I wasn't really sure where I was going to put my journaling. And other than that, really that's going to wrap it up. So you can see that I'm looking at it there, thinking about what I want to do. I think I do come back and show you the fact that I'm going to add some more sequence to that snowflake. And I'm just showing you the final products that I used as well. So thanks everyone so much for watching. Bye!